A teller of tales, not a doer of deeds. Phoenix.
What a name! Phoenix! Sounds like the sound a dumb bird makes when it lights itself on fire, which would be ridiculous. Although, I should write that down.
Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, I'm blind, and if you're wondering how I'm able to play video games if I'm blind, if you take a look at the video here, or if it's not there, click the link in the description down below to see exactly what I see when I'm playing video games. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a short one. I got another chance to check out the preview demo of Immortals Fenyx Rising, but this time there was some accessibility options that were enabled, so I'm going to be talking a little bit of my thoughts, and after that, and just kind of give a bit of an update from my past video of Immortals Fenyx Rising. If you want kind of my overall thoughts on the game, make sure you be able to click on the link either here, or if it's not there, in the link down in the description below to see my full video with Grant Stoner from caniplaythat.com on our general thoughts of the game. So with this demo, I actually got to start right from the very beginning of the game, where I got to go through the character creation and a little bit of the story. I won't spoil the story for you just so that you can go in fresh with that. But as far as accessibility options, they were available right at the very beginning. I didn't have to go into any of the game or wait to be able to get access to an options menu. They were all available right there. Now, my version actually was a PC version, so there was a lot of settings in there that were specific to PC graphics. So there's probably not going to be as many options in there in the console versions, but at least the accessibility options that were there will be enabled from day one of the game. One of the options I got to see was the menu narration. Now they have the ability to turn on, obviously, menu narration. You can be able to adjust the speed and the volume of the menu narration separate from the other volume sliders that you normally would get in the game. So you can fully mix any of the audio if you want to be able to have the menu narration a little bit louder than the rest of the game. You can totally do that. All the menus are narrated. Every single bit of text in the menus are narrated, including some parts of the skills and abilities and the map.
Bow of Odysseus. Plus 30% damage with bow shots while health is full. Refills 80% of a health chunk on headshot.
Now, as far as the scope of what the narration option was able to reach for the menus, the map and the skills / abilities were probably the hardest to kind of like get around with the menu narration. Once you kind of hover over a certain object or certain skill or ability, then the menu narration will kick up. But there's nothing really to kind of help you kind of guide you to that spot without sort of like moving your cursor around the screen in order to be able to figure out exactly where things are. And I did try to be able to use the D-pad in order to be able to kind of move from different parts of the menu to see if it will sort of just tab over. And unfortunately, it didn't do that for me. I'm not to say that this may not be available in the final game. I don't know, or it could just not have been in the preview build that I got to see. But that would have been great if that option was there. So at least then it'll be much easier to navigate the menus with the menu narration turned on. Now the HUD is kind of where the narration stops. Unfortunately, there is no narration for any of the pop-up text that pops up on the screen when you're in game. But what I do like as well, and I said this in the previous video, is that the text on the HUD is actually fairly large. I think, and I said it before, I think they designed it so that with the Switch in mind. So if you're playing it on your Switch, like on mobile, essentially the same UI and user experience that is there is going to be the same across all consoles and PC. So they're not sacrificing essentially a UI or UX for the Switch in comparison to the rest of the consoles. Another cool little feature that I actually enjoyed was the sort of puzzle help that you get when you sort of encounter the puzzles in the world itself. In my previous video, I didn't really get a chance to sort of play around with it because those settings weren't enabled in that demo. So solving a puzzle was a little bit tricky, but what was actually interesting in this was, instead of, what I like actually with this is that they tried something really cool where some puzzles, essentially you have to be able to find like these little like glowing orbs and you have to sort of fit them into like a specific pattern on this kind of like constellation sort of map. And what's cool is that if you enable the puzzle help in the menus, you can see where those orbs are in the compass and sort of just in the world of where they are. Now, it doesn't sort of tell you exactly how to be able to solve the puzzle, but at least it kind of gives you the general area of where things are specifically, so that you can kind of figure out how the puzzle works. There are going to be sort of like tooltip helps that actually will kind of guide you through if you find that you are stuck within a puzzle. But I think it's really kind of a neat way to kind of get around the challenge of a puzzle for disabled players, especially those who are blind, when you can't be able to see what is going on or what is happening around you. So it doesn't solve everything that disabled players will need when it comes to puzzles in games, but it's a neat little tool and feature that I'd like to be able to see Ubisoft either like expand upon in future titles or in future games, or just kind of in general, just kind of see if they can be able to refine that, because there's definitely something there that I like, and I want to see how far that can grow given the right tools and developers and studios resources. Also in the options, there is the ability to be able to remap your controls to whichever you see fit. However, I did find from Grant Stoner at caniplaythat.com, he actually has a motor disability review up on caniplaythat.com right now. Link will be in the description down below. He found that actually it was difficult to be able to, once you remapped everything, and he was playing on mouse and keyboard, he found the game to be very button mashy. So there's going to be a lot of times where you might get actually a little bit of hand fatigue when trying to be able to play this game. If you want to read more of Grant's thoughts from a motor disability standpoint, like I said, go to caniplaythat.com. Link is in the description down below. Another option I want to talk about is the aim assist option. They actually have 3 different modes for aim assist. You have the assisted mode, default, and off. Default, it kind of sort of sets a partial assistance and limited snap, where assisted mode actually does full assistance and clear snap to an enemy target. Now, I've never really kind of discussed how the benefits of aim assist or auto lock or auto target in games are for me, mainly because it's just sort of something that we've seen in a lot of games, but I definitely want to focus in on it here because it definitely helps me out a lot. Now, I actually use this more for any of the flying enemies in this game, but I find that usually an aim assist can help out in such a way that kind of removes some of the barriers that I have when playing games. But what I did find with this, when I had assisted mode on, it felt great. Like the ability to be able to do the same thing, basically aim and then fire, and I can move around, and the aim will never lose its target unless I specifically move to a different target. So it's really, really great. Another cool feature that is hard to kind of show off in gameplay, but there is an option called auto movement, where by double clicking the left thumbstick, you can actually be able to move the character forward automatically, and you just use the right thumbstick to direct the camera of where you want Fenyx to go. This is really great for multiple disabilities, but it'll definitely be a very beneficial for motor disabilities, so you can only have to worry about one thumbstick when you're basically moving around the world. I also got to play around with the subtitles, and like I said before, in pretty much any Ubisoft game that moving forward, it's going to be the standard subtitle settings that you're going to see, which is still fantastic. Come on, like it's still, like, you may take it for granted now because of just how many games have now had these sort of standard subtitles from Ubisoft, but it's just really cool to be able to see. You can be able to adjust the background of whether you can have it transparent or opaque. You can adjust the subtitle size. You can add a speaker tag, and it's just an amazing sort of tool, and I'm so glad that games and Ubisoft are now using that sort of standard moving forward. Again, another thumbs up for subtitles in Ubisoft games. They're just great. So that is it. That's kind of just my really quick general thoughts of what I was able to play. Again, if you want sort of my thoughts on the game itself, make sure you check out the video that I mentioned. It's in the description down below. And if you want more coverage for Immortals Fenyx Rising, make sure you go to caniplaythat.com. I'm excited to be able to check out this game when it comes out in December. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or any specific comments about anything that I've missed or that you were curious about in this game that you want to find out from me what I was able to play, make sure you leave a comment down below or hit me up on Twitter at Steve Saylor, and I'll try to be able to answer to the best of my ability. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to be able to see more of my videos, click the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when new videos come out, make sure you hit the bell notification icon. Thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and as always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.